We've graduated. Now it's in the refrigerator. So learn how to open the refrigerator, get the juice out. See, we're growing. This pastor wants you to learn how to feed yourself. Understand all of it. That's my responsibility. You just provide me the opportunity to ensure, Mom, like Paul's example, I will help you feed yourself. And it's important that you do it. It's all going to... That's what he preaches and pushes and nudges and says, get your behind into Bible study. Because you have to learn how to feed yourself. Because what's out there, what other Christians try and feed you, let me tell you, just like when a mom imparts her milk, if she gets sick, if the food causes a bad reaction, then the baby gets a bad reaction. Does that make sense, family? And there's a lot of bad milk out there. You could be feeding off another pastor, and you might not even know that they're cheating you, lying to you, misleading you. You don't know unless you learn in 4 short weeks. Remember, Paul was only in this church for about 3 to 4 weeks. That's it. Put someone else in charge, but the Thessalonians had to learn how to feed themselves. It's the needs, imparting to them, again, teaching them not just how to feed themselves, but think of what a mom may practically do. Bathing the kids when they're sick. I know how it is with Eliana. When she's sick, I try to come up to her, nice and fun, but doesn't want daddy. Mommy. True, growing up, when I was sick, for some reason, I only wanted my mother. Probably because my dad would have just shoved a spoon of medicine and walked out. Probably what he would have done. But there's something about the affection that we have for a mom and the way she tenderly, and that's a side of Paul that I absolutely love, because when you're broken, when you're struggling with a sin or a stronghold, boy, do you hide from the pastor, right? You don't need to be told, why can't you get your act together? You don't need to be told, what have I told you 100? Come on now, right? No. Paul, the motherly side, was like, I want to impart to you as much as I can and help you as you grow as a newborn believer. What else does a child need? I know my mom was definitely my supervision. Eliana right now, I'm telling, when she walks like this. Looking around. There's stairs, dog poop, right? All kinds of danger, all kinds of trouble. My mom constantly was like, turn your head this way. Walk this way. Hold all once. Scared the daylights out of them. Because that's what we as little kids do, right? We do what we want to do, go our own way, and we... How many of you have kids? Do they need supervision? How many of you are adults and need supervision? I'll put my hands up for that one. Good at getting into trouble. I know, like God says, you're only in trouble if you get caught. God sees what we're doing. That's why we need a good spirit and say, hey, pastor, I messed up. Hey, pastor, can you help me? Hey, pastor, I need verses. I need prayer. I need accountability because I get into a lot of trouble. But is the pastor going to be available to you? Chances are probably not. But this pastor will. I promise you, I will always problem and whatever trouble you have. Because that's what a good parent does. A parent makes time for their kids, and a good mom always looking to impart something, even her own life. Come on, moms, you know that. Wouldn't you die for your kids? You would take a bullet for them, stand in front of that moving car, right? You would do whatever in danger. That's what a good pastor does. That's why I love Paul. Maybe you don't see. And what's interesting about this, because we're going to move now into verses 9 through 11, which is the second point on the outline. You have a loving mother, but now you have a leading father. A leading father. A father who knows lead. Very important. It's very important. But when it comes to being a parent, before we move into the father, is a challenge. Doesn't it take a ton of patience? It does, doesn't it? Again, it takes a ton of sacrifice. It really does. You want to go to the movies? A simple thing like that? Well, you can't go unless you got a babysitter, right? You do for your kids. And dads, we have the responsibilities. We're supposed to be the leaders. That has not changed regardless of what your culture will say. The man is still given the responsibility by God home. And now you're going to see the fatherly side of Paul. Look in verse 9. Remember, brethren, our labor and toil for laboring night and day, that we might not be a burden to the people of God. Paul was being accused of using for the primary purpose of making money. You follow me? Paul was being accused of just being in your life. So now I get it. It couldn't be more relevant today. The primary reason that a pastor has to be here is to make disciples. Make disciples, not dollars. But there are many churches and many pastors, right? The plate 6 or 7 times. If they feel they need more, boy, do they really get into your pockets. They start teaching you that you understand the way they want you to believe about giving. But let me tell you something. The primary purpose of a ministry is to make disciples. Matthew says, go and make what? Go and make what?